we can already tell you guys that it's also going to be a mirror match. It's going to be a clash between the most popular decks expected, which is going to be the Snake Eye version, and our players are ready. So let's jump into action here for game 1. Let's see. First of all, I think Rafailidis, he will start things off.
Dimitris won the dice roll.
Again, opening with Wanted, and obviously, as we will be able to talk a little bit about their deck lists, we can see the differences. So first and foremost, they are both playing, what can be considered a pure version of the deck. But I think there are some differences, especially in the ratios and the entraps they decided to go for, both on a significant number. But I'm seeing Bestials in the main deck for Dimitris. Interesting choice. What do you think of that?
Dimitris is a very well-known Dragon Link player, so
Okay.
I think he was a little bit biased.
He's sticking with that. Ooh, but we see the Ash Blossom.
Yes, Blossom.
For now, I think it's free for free. We have seen Ash in this spot every time on the original. But yeah.
However, Ash has the drawback that, as we saw plenty of times before, it can be summoned with Hita.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still an amazing hand trap.
Absolutely. So now Dimitris obviously knows what's up. As mentioned, they... Ooh, and there is the talent.
We see triple talents being
Going
activated.
for a draw, though. Okay. Usually you would want to, snipe something out of your opponent hand. Maybe this is,
He
signing
just
with...
needs one normal summon.
Does
And-
he? And he does get it.
He found it.
Great. No response. Okay. As mentioned, back off 2 weeks ago, the latest Forbidden Unlimited list, the players had to adapt. And we can check. Yeah, they are both using Omega and Dispater in the extra deck. So
we can see the new board that Snake Eye can make.
possibly, yeah. Obviously, there are still a lot of interruptions that we could see. But
Flammers will be summoned.
Overall, I mean, if you're not interrupted, as we were mentioning, you can go for this kind of end loop, getting rid of 2 cards from your opponent end, and then trying to control the game. Obviously, Appaloosa is also an option, and it's probably the safest way also to, play around the Nibiru, play around the interruptions. But as you were saying, the rush is there, so we could see the Ita taking it once again. Let's see.
And I think that what is Dimitris is considering right now, if he will summon Hita or Mascarena.
And he goes for the Ita. So this is starting to be a spot in which soon enough we could see a Nibiru if he's there. But doesn't seem like Anestis wants to respond at the moment. So
Even the Nibiru is there. Dimitris played around it with Temple and Flammers on the back line.
absolutely. And yeah, for now he's free to go off. So obviously the original didn't resolve. Nowadays, you have access to, for example, the Jet Synchron line, going to the formula. And for now, though, he's gonna go for the traditional route. He has access to Princess, a lot of different options at the moment. And goes for the
Go for
Selene.
Selene, actually.
Okay.
So he will probably end on Appaloosa, Mascarena and Flammers on the back.
Which is pretty solid. And once again, the issue is when you are playing these versions with a lot of interruptions and you only draw one, the chance that your 6th card is gonna be another copy of an entrap, it's very high, and it's so bad to throw into that as a 6th. So it's the risk of going for such a build. And
He will use Oak for a second Lambert. A very solid and a classic snake eye board.
Yeah, solid opener, and now its pressure is back to Xanidis.
And it
With
has a lot of spell
5
cards.
spells. Yeah, wow, what a end. Unfortunately, not using the engage package we mentioned, but what a weird end from Xanidis. He's only playing 13 spells and he drew 5. Okay. I mean, if they're all different spells, this could be an amazing
That
end.
was
Yeah.
what I was thinking, that
Yeah.
they're probably the same copy of Bonfire, of Wanted,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay. For now, no response, no draw, which is a good news. And he goes for the Ash.
Cross out maybe a good.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those cards. I think it makes a lot of sense to play it in such a, when you expect to be playing a lot of mirror matches, it's great. And even other decks are obviously gonna use Impermanence, Ash, and we see Anima. Dimitris really contemplating. Obviously, the mirror match has some interesting, mental elements where you really want to play around talent and those kind of cards when you can. But yeah, at some point you just gotta pull the trigger, and it seems like this is what Dimitris is gonna go for. Yeah. Makes sense. This is the usual opener, and now we go for the Ask Arena into SP.
Summon SP, banish the Anima.
Yeah, this is so much advantage, as you can see. It's kind of uncommon, I would say, that you get to resolve everything usually, but this is what would happen in this event, and yeah, you can see just how much advantage the deck gets, and I think
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is enough. Xanidis drew 5 spells and an Ash Blossom, lost the die roll, and this costed him the game. Pretty fair and square. Well played by Dimitris, and now he's 1 up in just about 7 minutes. So, well played by him, and
I think it was very depending on the dice.
yeah, I mean, at the same time, I think Dimitris did have a few interruptions in his hand, so maybe, he could have tried. The problem was mostly for Xanidis. He had a hand that was just good for going first, and that's about it. So, unfortunately, sometimes that's how it goes. But now we switch to the side decks. And I guess, I mean, they are both really famous players, so we can expect that they knew what your opponent was playing. When you go second in the mirror match, obviously you want to side into more copies. Looking at this side deck, Dimitris has 3 copies of Phantasmai, which is also a popular card to just, kind of adjust your end, which is pretty cute. And outside of that, I don't know if you want to mix up, because he's playing a card to break the fields like Droplet and Dark Ruler, but usually when you play, significant amount of interruption, you don't want to have both. You either go for one or the other. Yeah. But in the other end, though, Xanidis goes first. What do you think he's going to bring in?
He's playing Nibiru, and I really like Nibiru going first because your opponent needs to break your board, and they cannot play around Nib.
Absolutely.
And just use Nib, they just pass back to you, and you have a lot of follow-up to kill them in the next turn.
It's definitely like a card that when was released back in the day, it was considered one of the best options for going second. But as of lately, it has changed to the point where actually it's almost better going first. Because you just set up your field, and if they can break it and you have Nibiru, then it's over. But our duelists are ready, so let's jump back into action with Xanidis going first.
And Xanidis drew a new card.
Yeah, the one copy.
Limited list.
As you can see, 1 copy of Anti-Spell Fragrance. And Xanidis still said, I still want to play the card. And he just drew it. So sometimes you get rewarded for these kind of decisions. And that can be a big one here. So... Okay, we see the first interruption.
Oh, and we see the cross out.
Nice. And I think it's super important because if I'm not mistaken, the rest of his hand is just, I I think like Ash, Veiler, and Fragrance, something like that. I think the only, you know, engine card was this Bonfire. Let's see.
With this hand, if his board goes through, I'm sure that he can manage win.
For sure. If there is nothing else going, and it doesn't seem like there is, wow. For now, he is free to continue. And yeah, that crossout was absolutely the MVP.
Very powerful and very good card that performs very well during the latest events.
Yeah. But there is a Phantasmai. Okay. Is it going to be it by the Ash Blossom? Because I think he has it. No. Okay. Gonna resolve, and this is great. I think it's also a card that I'm happy that is back to its popularity, because it's really interesting. And what I mentioned before, so the fact that you play a lot of interruptions, when you add Phantasmai to the mix, it solves the problem. Again, it's kind of like, you know, it fixes your end. So you can just find whatever you need, shuffle back the rest, and I think it's really solid.
And it's a little bit a man game also, because Anesis has checked for another hand wraps and see that Dimitris didn't have any.
Yeah.
But now all the hand wraps are back in
exactly. All the information
game.
is gone. Like you don't know anymore what's happening. So this is why you can see Anestis was playing really quickly, but now he needs to adjust and think, you know, through once again.
For example, now Dimitris may have Ash Blossom for the Oak effect.
Yeah, here you see the good news, which was the Temple, because he got to, you know, special. And now with 2 cards in hand, he's thinking what to do. Obviously, the Phantasmai still has the protection effect that you need to be aware of. And it's annoying, because sometimes you want to go for, you know, a smaller Apollousa, and with the Phantasmai on the field, you know, even here, they are both 24, so... And the usual combo goes through, so he gets exactly pretty much what Dimitris did to him in game 1. He's gonna try and do his own. But does he have something to get rid of this Phantasmai? No, passes back. Does he use the anti-spell right away? And there it is. So the 1 copy of anti-spell Fragrance drawn by Anestis. And you can see Dimitris kind of, you know, not too happy about that. But
it's a very nice card and a very good change in the list.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's you know, Summon Limit was really popular in the side decks. Now that it's gone, it's brave to add the 1 copy of Anti-Spell alone, but working out for Anestis here. Wow, and interesting.
And cross out.
Let's see if he has the read. So he chains cross out.
Maybe for Flamberge.
Yeah, he could go for Flamberge, or if he's feeling brave, he could also name, you know, something like...
an effect Veiler.
Yeah, or Ash. Let's see. Well, for now...
Probably it's Flamberge, because Anes is chaining his own Flamberge.
Makes sense. And there is yet another spell chain, though.
Droplet, probably?
Ooh!
Droplet.
This is huge. Wow. He did go for the droplets in the side deck, and this could be amazing, because it turns Apollousa back to 0 if he wants. And yeah, that's what he goes for. Let's see if you're right. It's probably the Flamberge. But regardless, yeah, it is. The great thing about it is that the Apollousa doesn't get, you know, the counters back once it's negated. So the Apollousa is pretty much now, you know, something that must be, you know, you get rid of because of the Zelantis threat, but outside of that, it doesn't do much. So
Anesis now has Masquerena for probably SP, Little Knight, and the Ash Blossom in his hand.
Yeah. At the same time, the Phantasmai can be annoying, because if you want to go for the SP, then you have the option of, you know, the Phantasmai negating it. We'll see. Let's see what he goes for. He does go for Masquerena. No response. And he goes for the SP.
Okay.
Let's see if he has any way to interact with this. Checks the graveyard, and yeah, he can just chain the effect if he has enough.
But Esme has a second effect when he's target that can discard a card and negate it.
Oh, but no. That's it. Interesting. I didn't see this coming. Apparently, Dimitris didn't have enough to fight back. It looked really good with the Forbidden Droplet and
so probably Dimitris tried to enter battle phase. That's why Anestis used the effect of Masquerena.
But that was about it. Okay, interesting and very, very quick start as compared to our round one. I mean, I think when the level is really high, you know when you lose. This is like one of the top skills, I think, from experienced players. They know when to pick up their cards. They know when they have lost the game, and they don't want to waste time, essentially. They are pretty down to the business, and this is what's happening now. But 1-1. So now go back into the center, and it will be once again Dimitris going first. His side deck doesn't look that exciting for going first. I feel like he's probably confident in his main deck, it looks like. Doesn't really have any options for going first. He can just adjust pretty much, probably again, what he has in the main deck. On the other hand, what do you think from Anestis? Going second.
Anestis also can use a Forbidden Droplet that he's siding. Nibiru is also a good choice.
But it seems similar, I guess. In the end, maybe it was the anti-spell fragrance that won the game. We couldn't see the end, but maybe he was holding, bonfire and something else.
Bonfire, or 1-for-1.
Yeah. So it seemed like that was enough, but on this end, Dimitris is not playing any of those cards. No Solemns, no cards for going first. He's just gonna rely on his deck, and hopefully that will get him
His main decking called by the grave.
Yeah. His main decking, he has a solid main deck for the mirror match, I would say. He is also on the crossouts, and he's playing Talent, as we have seen in game 1. So, makes sense that he doesn't want to side that much, because he has a very solid deck for the mirror match. And I guess, yeah, it's going to work out. He's going to try his best to just stay in this combo as it happened. But obviously, his opponent is not going to make it easy for him. And let's see who is going to advance with a 2-0 record. Yeah?
Seeing his main deck options from Hanovers, though, I believe that he will side out Beastels and break cards like Droplet, because Droplet on normal Summon Ash is very good.
Yeah, but that's...
And he will keep probably the Ogre and the Bell for the cross-out targets.
Yeah, he has a lot of interesting one-off targets for that. Even the Ghost Ogre, which is not that popular this weekend. But it's a good call, because Anestis is also playing multiple copies of Ogre, so that could work out. But yeah,
it's a very good hard up against a new strategy than Pi, as we said in the start of the stream. And
yeah,
also combining Ogre with Nibiru, for example, can be also good in the mirror match, because you can Nibiru, and when they activate the field spell to special summon from that, if you have Ogre, it will probably be game there.
For sure. But now they draw their hands, and only one of them will be able to continue with an undefeated record, and the start is optimal with this Bonfire. Let's see if there is maybe a draw from his opponent. Doesn't look like it. And I see a lot of spells once again in the end from Anestis. Wow. We don't want to have a repeat of game 1. Okay, effect. Veiler. Is there a response?
Does he have the cross out like game 2?
Yeah. Thinking. Maybe he also has talent, but...
Maybe he has cross out, and just because he has to extend, he just keeps it for another hand trap.
Could be. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Anestis might have 4 spells next to this Veiler, which could be very similar to game 1. Let's see. No, I can't quite tell. Like, for sure 3, but yeah.
I saw for sure cross out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for now, you know, pressure is mostly on Dimitris. The good news is that they took very, very little time for the first few games, so they have a lot, 26 minutes to play this game 3. And yeah, it seems like he's really debating his options.
And I think he will, yes, he will use the bird, a card that is not very popular in the Snake Eye deck, but it's a very good call for options like that when
Yeah.
you can just
Ooh.
special summon your opponent's turn.
And obviously, he played really quickly, so interesting. Maybe he had a read that there was no response from this original. It's the first time that we see it resolve this weekend. It always got ashed, but as you mentioned, he's probably the only one I've seen playing the Birch, and yeah, he's gonna show us what it's about. Again, no response, so he can get to the Flamberge. Thanks to the field spell, again, Divine Temple, he can try to play around Nibiru a bit. And yeah, this is the usual that we have seen. No Ghost Bell either. I mean, you can play. Yep, and as you can see, really debating, but he knows what he do, and it is looking, yeah, pretty.
He would also put with field spell Poplar and go for this usual line.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious to see what his plan is with the Birch.
Definitely not the usual way, but I mean, it's working out. It's also interesting that maybe when you test for such an event, you're used not to resolve that much, you know, because your opponent interrupts you a lot. And then when you're in a situation like this, when your opponent only has one Veiler, maybe you find yourself, you know, kind of like debating, what do I even do? I have so many options, they're not stopping me. And yeah, you need to know what to go for, even in the best case scenario. It's not like you automatically win the game, so let's see. Keeps the Flamberge around, and wow, interesting. Zelantis line, we haven't seen a lot of these going first.
But it's a very good choice, so he can play around Super Poly if his opponent is using.
Yep. Seems like that's about it. Very interesting start from Dimitris. With the Zelantis, one face down could be just the impermanence. And now play is back to Anestis. Copy of Bonfire of his own, so this will probably be the game in which we see a little bit more interactions. He's debating whether to chain anything, yeah?
Also, the set may be cross out that Dimitris may held for another hand drop.
For sure, that would be really good. Is there a response on this Ash? I think you could be onto something, because he was thinking on the Bonfire, and the only real interruptions could be an Ash or a cross out. So this could very well be that.
She may have Veiler and cross out, and just thinking about Veiler the Ash and cross out a talent maybe, or a 1-for-1.
But no, now allows
goes through.
Interesting. And as you mentioned, I think Anestis might have also have his own copy of Crossout. So let's see. Okay, and now we do see a little bit of action from Dimitris. It's definitely an interesting way when you play a mirror match with Crossout, because obviously you want to hit, you know, Veiler, Ash, talent, and those kind of stuff. But sometimes you're in a better position using it on an engine card. but you also deprive yourself of the possibility of then using your own. So you need to, it's a dangerous game because it's a double-edged sword in a way.
For me, cross out in the mirror match when going second for Flambert, it's just you have to see if you can break the board with Hita or
Yeah.
you need your Flambert.
And yeah, he does have the cross out in hand, Anestis.
And I think the sixth card was Valor.
And it goes for the cross out at this point, I guess, on the Flamberge, if it makes sense. Do we see cross out on cross out? That can also work. But let's see. Might be the case. Yeah,
Yes.
we do. Okay. Very rare interaction, but it works. So
A very nice interaction.
yeah, kind of rare, but yeah, good read on your side on the cross out, makes sense. And yeah, not something you see every day. This, but it can happen. And the Flamberge gets to resolve at this point. We could see the Mascherena if he wants. Okay, and he goes for Princess. I think so. He has Vader, Diabell Star, and I'm not sure if that's a wanted or what the last card is, but for now, he's gonna go and try to get rid of as much as possible from Anestis. As you can see, both Princess and then the Mascherena into SP.
So you can get rid of both monsters.
Yeah, that's gone. And then in a new chain, he's gonna be able to banish the Poplar. Okay, he gets his own copy of Divine Temple. And yeah, the new chain now can open up. SP is gonna banish, as mentioned, the Toplar, and then he can bring back something if he wants. Let's see. Gonna be a close one. For sure he's in the lead, but there are still some openings potentially from Anestis. He has the Diabell Star. But yeah, as you
And
can
the
see.
birch.
Yeah, the birch. The sneaky birch. And yeah, now it's definitely a tough spot, but he's gonna figure out the best way to try and fight back. If Dimitris wins this game, definitely kudos to him for the cross-out hold, because many players probably would have instantly used it on the Valor, and instead the good recognition that it might be more useful in this kind of situation.
Being patient is a very, very
Yeah.
difficult skill. You.
But it's tough. It's a skill that you need to develop.
And comes with experience, as we
Yeah.
said before, that both players very experienced.
But here it is. He reveals, I think, everything. Yeah, because he discards the wanted. So now there is full knowledge, kinda. We know that the last card in hand is Valor, and let's see. Yeah, for now it works. So he gets to the original. What does he want to get rid? Obviously, last cards. Valor and Temple. "17 minutes remaining. Again, it's really, really important to win, because there is no top cut. You need to go, you need to try and win as many matches as possible, because the winner eventually will most likely have an undefeated record, or at most an X1 record, going 8-1 or 8-1 draw. So it's tough, and obviously I think neither of them is that happy to face such a high caliber player already in round 2. But the level of the competition seems to be pretty
Good
high.
for us, though, that
Yeah,
we
for
are
sure.
experiencing such a match.
Absolutely. We take these. And yeah, you can see Anestis taking his time. He knows that this is the most important turn, because either he's able to break this field and come back, or he's gonna lose the game and the match. So fair enough. And yeah, really unsure.
Very important that the Poplar got banished, because here he couldn't just place
Yeah.
Flambers and use original Flambers, and then
But you cannot, and this is what he's gonna go for. Gonna use the second Poplar to get to Oak. No Birch in Anestis' deck. So maybe that's the difference. Okay, so gets to summon back the Ash with Oak.
very important that Anes will also draw a card.
Yeah, this is huge. This card might be the make it or break it. Not quite sure what that is yet.
I believe from his body language it was something good.
Yeah, could be. A lot of good possible options, but even now, I mean, he's not in that bad of a spot. So yeah, it's the last moment.
Oh, it was an Ibiru. And I think he's live.
Okay.
Because Dimitri has
Interesting,
make 5 summons, if I'm not wrong, in Anes's turn.
Yeah, for sure he made. Yeah. He's on 5. Interesting.
He can use Nibiru now, and Flambers will trigger.
I guess he needs to be careful about the SP though. So let's see. What does he have? Yeah, because it's exactly 5, I think. Kirana, Princess, the Chu, and that. Yeah, it's 5.
He can also enter battle phase, attack to SP, so Dimitris doesn't
Yeah.
protect his princess probably. A very tough decision for Anestis.
Absolutely. And yeah, time is slowing down. So 13 minutes left. Still both on 8,000 life points, but not gonna be the case for long. Maybe he has entered battle phase, because I don't know. I'm seeing Dimitris doing some. Yeah, it is Nibiru, and there it is. Wow. Yeah, they are correct.
So probably Anestis used Flamber's effects to put SP on the back row. Dimitris chained SP to protect 2 monsters, and then
Yeah.
Anestis used Nibiru.
This is a very unique interaction of this matchup. You don't see many matchups in which you use Nibiru on your own turn, because your opponent just summons so much during yours. And yeah, this is
A very good play from Anestis.
for sure. And this hurts quite a bit. Yeah, definitely an unusual pickup. He's gonna use the Birch, it seems.
He can summon Poplar maybe, so can put something in back row.
Yeah, but that's about it. It's resolved, and this is huge. Gets rid of the entire field from his opponent. Wow. This could be such a good comeback. What a turn from... What a pickup, especially from Anestis. Yeah, they're gonna do, some quick math. He's gonna think what to bring back. And yeah, it's gonna resolve. So gets back 2 more monsters. It was a lot of link, so I'm not sure what the defense. It might be pretty low, so he might be able to attack it with the Nibiru.
I don't remember if
Yeah.
Dimitris has used his temple. Otherwise, I think it's just game because he can just make Shita, take Princess break his own Flamberts.
And this might be what he goes for after that anima. Okay, vabbè. Yeah, I think probably too late. But okay. Yep. And this is again well played because we're not sure about the defense, but the attack is gonna be quite huge for this anima.
So Temples gets triggered probably.
Temple is still the last line of defense he was kind of holding into. Gets to the Flambert. But this is so much damage. Yeah, obviously we have no idea how big the token is, but there were 5 monsters on. Plus his own 2, so yeah, it's pretty big boy. Probably that's what.
So not only to Pike and OTK with a lot of damage.
Yeah, exactly. But no, he goes and unfortunately gets rid of the token. And now, as you can see, he gets both that back, and he can summon a dark monster from his opponent graveyard, which is gonna be the IP. Ooh, but there is an ogre, which is an interesting one, because obviously you need to summon back to the zone. So if he has a target, he can, you know.
And Dimitris was waiting for the right moment.
A lot, yeah. Very patient with the ghost ogre. And yeah, this is gonna come down to the wire.
When you see your whole board gets the Nibiru and still keep the ogre for the right moment, it's a very difficult skill.
For sure. He doesn't have any target, so he's just gonna enter battle phase.
And crash the Flambers, so Flambers has an effect in the next turn.
But also, this is where one of the sneaky lines from the previous turn come into action, because we get to see one of those cards that is not played by everyone, which is Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. And what a turnaround, honestly.
An amazing turn.
Yeah.
But I think Dimitris has follow-up, has us in his hand.
Yeah, because, I mean, to be fair, I don't know, when he stole the token with Anima, maybe he could have just entered battle phase back then, and but, yeah.
And also, the original engrave.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, he smelled blood, and it was very well played, again, from Dimitris. And now we see once again this Birch.
The Birch.
the MVP from Dimitris. This copy of Birch. Yeah, so much available for him. The only thing he needs to be careful about, there is plenty of time, is, again, the 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Well, again, usual stuff. And the Ash is there. Wow. I think the last card is Veiler, I think, from Anestis, if I don't remember correctly. I'm not sure, but I think he had a Veiler in hand. I don't know.
Yeah, the last card in his hand is Veil.
Yeah. So let's see. Seems unlikely. I mean, the Zelantis is gone. I mean, I'm sure he will play safe, considering how patient Dimitris has been playing this match. He will not do anything crazy, but again, the Birch.
And the Birch.
Yeah, once
the
again.
MVP.
Always. And yeah, goes for it. No response. We know the last card. And yeah,
The
well
second
played.
copy of Lambert's.
And yeah, really well played. Goes for the effect. Are we gonna see the Veiler here?
It's a weird spot to use
Yeah.
Veiler, but I think if he doesn't use it, he just loses.
For sure. He has to.
Yeah, he
And
has to.
the last card is this Veiler, but now I think Dimitri's is okay with this. Like, obviously not what you wanted to see, but wow, there is the droplet. So he plays at least around it. And this is huge.
A very nice move from
Yeah,
Dimitris.
this is crazy. This is for sure game.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very, very well played. And yeah,
Yes,
yes,
the
you see
handshake.
the handshake. What a match. What a match. Great fight from both